Tinubu shocked, as in strong supporters curse him for doing these 10 things as president-elect. Hello people, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. When we told people to shun ethnic and religious sentiments and vote for a competent leader, they thought that we were joking. They thought that probably they will not feel the impact and the negative effects of bad leadership. Well, to all Abado and Tinubu supporters, they are reaping what they sowed. After everything they saw under Buhari's government, this APC's government, they still had the mind and the effrontery to go and waste their vote on another candidate from APC. And the most funny and annoying thing is that this same person they voted for was the person that brought in Buhari, who actually brought a lot of calamity upon this particular country. Now they've started regretting. They've started, they've made a U-turn. Some human beings are very, very funny. When people will be an obedience, we are busy campaigning, going from state to state, street to street, city to city, using their resources to seek for a better Nigeria, to seek for a better change in the country. People because of religious and tribal sentiments, and went and voted in a man whose identity, whose age, whose health status we don't even know. And now they've started complaining. This is the genesis of the whole problem. My only annoyance is that, their negative and wrong consequences is equally affecting everybody, even we, the obedience. And that is why a whole lot of us are angry at them. You had a better option of doing the right thing, but you decided to do the wrong thing. Or because of your tribal and religious sentiments. They deceived you. After what Buhari did, they deceived you with religion and tribe. And that made you to go and vote and cast your vote for a man who does not even merit, as a matter of fact, to be the president of Nigeria because of his drug dealing and everything in US, and because of his fake certificates and every other thing. Well, that is not the case. I will play this video for you to watch what an ardent and a very strong supporter of Bola Tinubu said to him because of about 10 things that Tinubu did, which I will explain after this particular video is being played.
And pains I'm going through. At the end of the day, I'm still seeing my people buying fuel at rate of 520 naira. And the deal settled, the subsidy was paid till end of July. We are seeing in June, my people are buying the fuel. And you as a new president in the office, you are not saying anything. Are you connect with these people to frustrate masses? Sir, we all drive away from Peter Obi just because we realize that he's a pretender. So if we are not driving away from Peter Obi just because he's a pretender, and the road we are facing now, we discovered that same person that we believe that is going to for masses is the same people is a pretender to us. Sir, Bola Tinubu, don't dare us in this country, don't dare us. Some people are not eating. Some people they cannot walk freely just because they are campaigning for you. They use their life to campaign for you. Sir, you can send us to prison, you can do anything, you can arrest us, but we will never let you rest. If you continue selling food at rate of 520 naira and you are not saying anything, we use our life to campaign for you. We do have free movement just because we are campaigning for you. Now you are frustrating us. We need to talk at this point. If you don't have a financing or the marketers to tell them that you stop selling food at rate of 520 naira after 3 weeks in the office. Sir, I am highly disappointed in you. I am highly disappointed in you because I thought after the meeting you are going to instruct them to sell the fuel at 185 naira till ending of July before you decide on what to do. But
Welcome back. From the video that just played, you could see this strong supporter of Bola Tinubu crying and lamenting that Tinubu should not dare them, that they sacrificed and they did everything to vote for him. That they were thinking that P2B was a pretender, but now they know that Tinubu is the pretender. He was complaining about the hike in fuel. He was complaining that he's buying fuel for just 500 or 550 naira. Probably today he did not hear about the news that the fuel price from July, as a matter of fact, will increase to 700 to 750 in some states, or 650. He's complaining now that the fuel is 550 or 600 in some states. Why the fuel importers are saying that from July that the fuel price in some states would go up as high as 700 naira. And this is the beginning of their lamentation. You could see how he was lamenting, how he was crying, how he was so deeply touched. Look at what he said. that they thought that P2B is a pretender because these were the lies they fed them. These were the ethnic and religious sentiments that they fed them. And they bought these things that they fed them. Now all the politicians have left them behind. In this particular video, I'm going to list about 10 policies and 10 things that this Tinubu did that is part of the thing that is making his supporters to be so ashamed and regretful. They are regretting ever casting their vote for him because of these 10 things that he did just within a month that he has resumed office without any proper preparations, without anything on ground. He just started making his decisions and implementation that are anti-people. When I mean anti-people, these things are going to make people poor and more poor. This is going to bring more suffering upon suffering, which has started happening already. The number one thing that he did was to remove subsidy, which actually affected the price of fuel, which this man, which you played his video, just complained about. This man was complaining bitterly. You could see how he was complaining because of fuel subsidy removal. That is not how to remove subsidy. P2B said, yes, he's going to remove subsidy. But these things are going to be in phases. He can't just come out and say that you are removing subsidy when we don't have any functioning refineries across the country. When no refinery in Nigeria is producing even a liter or to capacity. Basically, all our oil are being imported at the dollar exchange rate. And Tinubu had the mind to go and remove subsidy totally without any cushioning effect, without any measures on ground. And that is why a lot of his supporters are so ashamed and they are regretting their decision because they thought that this man will be the change they needed. But I'm telling you, they are actually being disappointed. Removing subsidy without any preparations on ground, without even knowing the number of liters we produce or consume in this particular country. And he removed subsidy totally, making Nigerians to suffer and pay for the corruption that he brought upon us because he brought Buhari. And Buhari's 8 years of governance in this particular country, he couldn't fix a single refinery in this particular country. He couldn't. And now they want us, the citizens, to sacrifice and suffer this particular problem, even though that they are using our own tax money to, fund their extravagant and luxurious lifestyle as politicians and be leaders in the country. But the second policy that Tinubu made here is the VAT policy. Is the VAT. He increased VAT by 7.5%, the VAT on diesel, 7.5. That means for every liter of fuel you are buying, you are going to pay an extra charge as VAT on it. The third one is the tariff on electricity. If you could recall, there is about 40% increment in the tariff or price for electricity. And some electricity distribution companies have started implementing this. This will start fully by next month, being July. This is just the beginning. You've not created jobs. You've not done anything to allay the poverty and the sufferings of this country. Rather, you are creating more taxation and more problems upon the country. Now he still imputed tariff on imported cars, and again, as you could see, he still made it he still placed 1,000 naira compulsory for car renewal. So if you owe a car, or if you have a car in this particular country, bear it in mind that you'll be paying 1,000 naira as car renewal. Then he increased school fees. Then the inflation rate and the disunity, the insecurity, and as I'm talking to you now, a $1 is approximately 840 or thereabout, or 800, just within a space of 1 month that this man resumed office. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. All the Abaduat and all the Tinubu supporters will come out and start apologizing to the obedience after the end of this party. Even within his first 100 days, they will see the consequences of the action of picking a wrong leader who doesn't have the human sympathy and who doesn't have their interests at heart. I must tell you for the fact, this is just the beginning of their cry. They should actually, when they were given the opportunity to do the right thing, they failed to utilize the opportunity. Well, I would like you guys to drop your comment in the comment section and please subscribe to my channel.